The taste had spoken. But she did not end it there. Skill can be learned, it can be practiced, it can be imitated. But there is one thing that cannot be controlled when it appears: emotion. So she chose the final test, not of action, not of knowledge, of reaction. She sent the children to him. ततः सा प्रेषयामास पुत्रो तस्य सन्निधौ ज्ञातुं भावं न लस्यति निश्चिता सा मनस्विनी. Then she sent her two children to his presence, resolved to learn his true feeling, whether he was Nala. They were led before him, unaware, unburdened. They did not know what stood before them, but he saw them, and the moment did not wait. It did not allow control to settle. What had been held back moved, not outwardly, not declared, but enough. Enough to disturb, enough to reveal. Because this was not skill, this was memory made present, and no disguise stands before that. Still, he did not speak. He did not claim them. He held himself. But what had been seen was no longer uncertain. The truth had been reached, even without a word. They stood before him, not as memory, not as thought, present, unchanged. And what he had left behind stood before him again. The body did not wait. It did not ask for control. It responded, before restraint could hold. दृष्ट्वा तो बालको वीरः साश्रुकण्ठो अभवत् तदा न चात्मानं प्रकटयामास धैर्यमास्थाय पांडव. Seeing those two children, he was overcome with emotion. Yet, holding to his composure, he did not reveal himself. He did not speak. He did not claim them. But he did not remain untouched. The breath shifted. The stillness broke. Not enough to declare, but enough to see. Because what had been concealed had moved. And once it does, it cannot return to what it was. The children were led away, unaware, but what they revealed remained. No longer uncertain, no longer divided. The tests had ended. What remained was to bring him forward. There was nothing left to test. The journey, the skill, the reaction, all had aligned. She did not wait. She did not observe further. She acted directly. Anayadvam mamantikam tam sarathim asanshayam. Sa evanal ittevam buddhirme natra sanshaya. Bring that charioteer to my presence. My understanding is firm. He is null. The instruction moved without delay. No concealment, no hesitation. He was brought, not as king, not as one revealed, but as he stood, still hidden in form. The distance between them was no longer space. It was concealment, and that was about to end. Because what had been proven would now be spoken, not through test, but face to face. He stood before her, no longer distant, no longer unseen, but not yet revealed. She greeted him, but she did not address him as Swami yet. She waited, because what stood between them was not identity. It was the act, the Swayamvar, declared, carried across kingdoms. He spoke. Katham dvitiyam swayamvaram kritvatyasi bhamini, pativratasi me gyata katham dharmamimam tyajet. How had you undertaken a second Swayamvar? You are known to be devoted. How could you abandon this dharma? The question did not rise in anger. It did not accuse. But it did not withdraw. Because what had been done stood against what had been chosen. And that required answer, not explanation, truth. She did not interrupt. She did not react at once. Because the moment was no longer about finding him. It was about resolving what stood between her and her Swami. And that could not be rushed. She did not hesitate. Not now. Because what he had asked was not small. It was dharma. She answered, Naham dvitiyam, swayamvaram ichhami naradhipa, twameva swami pashyami, nanyam manasi chintaye. I do not desire a second swayamvara. It is you alone, Swami, whom I hold in my mind, no other. The words did not defend. They did not argue. They stated, clearly, what had been declared was not for choosing, it was for finding. Not abandonment, but return. She did not turn away. She did not waver, even when alone, even when separated. Her mind did not shift. What had been chosen remained. And now it was spoken, without concealment. But words do not end doubt alone. What remained had to be confirmed.